What's up, guys? How are y'all doing today? How are you doing today?
You're gonna hook me up?
We want to know how you're doing today. We got Dr. Choppa in studio. I have Curt in studio.
What's up?
I have this hot dog pen in studio today. We're going to be talking about living well, getting better, healing yourself with food, with exercise. Yeah, eating less hot dog pens, drinking more fruit and vegetables. Look at Curt. He has his pumpkin spice apple.
I have my
going on today.
Apple. Pumpkin is healthy, right? It's a vegetable. It grows on vines. It has seeds inside.
It grows in a patch, a pumpkin patch.
Is there a really good pumpkin patch nearby, like that we just haven't talked about yet?
Yeah,
you know?
You have to go to Hobby Lobby, like in the decoration section.
Do you not have like a pumpkin, like, I don't know, place where you go and like do like the corn maze and...
What's up, Trudy? Hey, Trudy, how was that Bean Kings that the office had? Shout out to Trudy and her office. Did you see the picture that Josh had posted?
I did. I saw that. That was great.
We got Dr. Choppa in studio. I'm going to ask you to do a favor right now. I don't know if you could do it, but I want you to go ahead and share this video out on your social media feed. Let's get it out there. Let's get as many people watching as we can so they can ask questions to Dr. Choppa, so that way they can find out there's a better way to live. You don't have to wake up and be sluggish. You don't, have no energy, feel bloated throughout the day. There's different ways to treat these ailments and issues that people have. And one of them may be this Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. Curt, I do have to ask you, how is it, especially compared to Bean Kings?
It's amazing. I mean, the ingredients on the back say reduced fat, milk, brewed Starbucks espresso coffee,
All healthy.
sugar, skim milk,
Oh, sugar. I like that one.
skim
Sugar.
milk, natural flavors, and then salt.
So
There's no like weird ones that I can't read.
So what about, is it better than Bean Kings?
No. Easy no.
And I have to say,
easy no. But I'm trying not to like make like Starbucks feel bad, but no.
dude, don't hurt Starbucks. Don't hurt Starbucks. But shout out to Bean Kings. Curt did take a sip of this and he was like, I like Bean Kings better. And then closed it. That was before our stream started. But hopefully everyone's doing good. Hey, whenever Dr. Choppa is getting set up, but later we are going to be giving away the passes to the women's conference, the Bay Area Houston Women's Conference. We're going to do that today. We were going to do it yesterday, but it kind of slipped our minds whenever Curt, he ate. How much ice cream did you eat yesterday? We had Cool Cow Creamery in. I don't know. I'm maybe tattling. Curt ate like 3 pints. They brought us like 10 pints of ice cream. All amazing.
There are no more pints left in the back because I also realized at like 2:00 in the afternoon, I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. Go get more ice cream.
Lunch.
At 4:00, I was like, oh, I'm hungry again. Guess what? More ice cream.
Wow.
And every time I went, it was like the whole pint.
Hey, what's up, Amber? Shout out to Amber and Butler's Courtyard.
Love Amber. Hi, Amber.
She said she needs some help. She's fighting a cold and sinus infection. Been fighting it naturally. Will not even so much as take one Tylenol. She's taking 15 Congaplex a day, drinking chamomile tea with something in lemon. It says thieves, and lemon
Thieves.
and lots of water. Still have lots of crud going on. What can I do to get over this? Should I try to come in for an adjustment?
Yes. And if you give me 1 second, I will tell you if it's been more than 3 days that it's been that you've been fighting that, I would encourage you to get INF Fighter. Just run down to the office, INF Fighter, take 2 droppers, and that's full droppers 3 times a day. It's got chaparral, echinacea, and golden seal in it, and it will lubricate the mucous membranes in your sinus cavities and your gut lining, and it will take the Congaplex amplification support for your immune system up a notch, and you'll polish the rest of that infection out, along with some sesame seed oil, which will stimulate your white blood cells from the bone, or stimulate the bone marrow to produce more white blood cells, so you have more of a fighting army to go after the rest of this cold. And you want to chew the sesame seed oil. And So absolutely run down the office and do a foot bath, but do an iontophoresis foot bath where we're driving minerals into your body and anti-infectives into your body, and do a laser on the thymus gland, so your immune system. And what that'll do is it'll upregulate the mitochondria in your cells to fight off infection and help strengthen your immune system to push through. We're going to talk about colds and flus and digestive stuff today because we are rapidly approaching the flu season.
That's no good. I don't want the flu. Curt is working on an apple. He's shaking his head back and forth. Is it not good?
No.
What's wrong? You're used to eating that cookie for breakfast.
I wanted a banana, but there was no bananas.
So we got 15 seconds, and then let's go on the FM, rock and roll.
You were like, nip. What are you?
He just took two or three bites of that apple and threw it away. He's like, this isn't ice cream. I don't want it.
Did it just taste bad?
Yeah.
I'm going to go on. Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy. I got Curt in studio.
What's
I got
up?
Dr. Choppa in studio. I got a hot dog pen in studio. And I am excited about the program that we're going to have today. I'm glad that everybody is taking the time to join us. We're going to have an awesome time. If you're watching on social media, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and share this video out. We're going to be sharing some awesome information, making sure that we have people realizing there's a better way to live. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be feeling, just like nastiness going on in your body. There are other ways to do it than going to the doctor and getting pumped full of artificial stuff they make in a lab. We can do it in a better way. And we're going to be learning. Me and Curt are learning as well. Curt, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. I have a healthy breakfast this morning. I had 2 bites of apple.
And then you threw it away.
And then I have my pumpkins.
Squirrel had attacked the apple and just nibbled out of all
I got
angles
it from
of
the
it.
local gas station.
That's probably where you went wrong.
Probably was not the best
They
apple.
probably fumigated it as it was coming in.
Oh,
with the gasoline.
I need to use this pumpkin spice latte to drop it down.
Well, as you're doing that, because you're going to start producing heavy mucus from all the dairy that you're about to consume.
Sweet.
I brought y'all some special treats. This is Dr. Aaron Choppa, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. We are thrilled to be on KHEA Radio. We love Kickstart. We love kickstarting our week with you guys, and I get fired up with the opportunity to come and serve and be here and chatting about health, wellness, and how to live better, be better, and stay better one bite at a time. But I brought you guys some echinacea. Echinacea is, a known anti-infective. It's known to strengthen the immune system. It's known to increase blood flow. It's known to increase neurological activation. And the way echinacea is really special is that it will have a tingly sensation from the acrylamides that are found in the plant. And echinacea is a really pretty plant if you ever get a chance to see one. And this is Echinacea purpura. There's definitely, the root. And you guys are lucky because this stuff is so good. And then we're going to let this tingle. I think what we're going to do before we do that, because it's so much fun, we're going to do the herbal cough syrup.
I think our idea of fun and your idea of fun may be a little different.
This is true.
By the way, echinacea does look amazing. I'm looking at some pictures.
I was going to say, that looks like coral out of the water. That does not look like echinacea.
Echinacea. Big R gumdrop echinacea.
Google told me it must be true, right?
Am I not spelling it right?
You're so far away, I can't quite.
He spelled it ECHINATA.
It's ECHINACEA.
So yeah, you're looking up some kind of coral. You're looking at seaweed or something.
That's better.
But I do like, there you go. That's the echinacea that I'm familiar with.
If you have a partner or, a girl or something, a guy could bring this and win them over, I think.
Yeah. And then if you have them try the actual plant itself, the root, it'll be tingly. So So this is,
can I actually eat it? If I, plant?
It's a plant. You could totally eat it.
All right, take a step back.
Now
Curt.
look,
settle
this
down.
is herbal cough syrup. This is wild cherry bark and spikenard root. and it is definitely
Oh, man.
it's definitely nice. And
I need to clear my palate already because I've been drinking like my breakfast shake, right?
right.
So I already got a little bit of a nice coating, but I'm going to use some water.
So here we go.
Wait,
Wait, y'all are still getting prepared.
bottoms up. About to knock this out.
No.
I want to do
It's a toast. A toast to wellness.
to KHEA,
To KHEA Radio.
Dr. Chapa, Living Well
Kickstart,
Clinical Nutrition.
Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center in the house. And so, guys,
This is
Good.
Be,
this is a way that you start to develop your bitter palate. We've talked about this bitter palate on shows in the past. We'll continue talking about it. And this is another way we're going to do that. We're going to do that twice this morning with some herbal cough syrup first, and then we're going to chase that down with some echinacea. So
I feel like I would have conquered my bitter palate after just smelling this.
Oh.
So y'all
my
ready?
nose is on fire right now.
it's so good.
man,
Oh, it's so
okay.
much better than that pumpkin spice latte for
To
sure.
Living Well.
All right,
Here we
bottoms
go.
up. Ah,
It burns going down.
the taste of a new generation. Pass your little cup back over here. I'm going to fill it up with some echinacea here.
All right. So echinacea. I remember
Wait, didn't we just have echinacea?
No, that was the spunkner root and the cherry bark.
taking that was actually good.
Yeah, it was.
That cherry bark, like there actually is like a hint of cherry in there. That's cool.
Whew.
So we had some suggestions. Amber said, "Don't smell it first." And then Josh said, "I'll try."
So
anything
I'm
I
gonna
want."
pick up since Amber is tuning in. She had her office do kind of what we're doing, and she sent me some pictures. I wish she would post a picture of her team taking shots because herb shots with Chapa is so much fun. We do this in the office. People stop in. We try to get our UPS driver to do shots with us. We have our mail guy do
Anybody.
shots with us. Anybody that comes in, we're going to
Woo.
try to do herb shots with Chapa. But we have energy tonics. We have immune tonics. We have cardiovascular tonics. We have liver tonics, lymphatic tonics. And these are all things that we blend and brew in our office using MediHerb as a base. MediHerb is a company out of Australia, a guy named Kerry Bone, absolute brilliant man. And he does amazing work with herbs. And I don't know how he comes up with some of these things, but the herb quality is so good.
Mm-hmm.
There is zero doubt of its effectiveness in the marketplace and what it can do in your body.
That's cool.
And so when we're working with herbs, initially when people start hearing the word herbs, they get nervous. They think that these herbs can be potentially hazardous or harmful. They think that you're going to have side effects and reactions. The reality is, hey, you know what? Let's replace your Starbucks bottle in the KHEA radio and put echinacea. There you go. That's the money shot right there. So here is when I have been in practice 13 years, I have seen zero negative reactions using herbs in my office. I have reactions. People have experiences of symptoms, detox symptoms, and patterns of discomfort using some of the things that we put people through in our office because their bodies were upregulating it to function better. But herbs seem to really drive the cell to function at a level higher than anything I've ever seen in my office with no negative effects. It's really a beautiful thing. So the questions that people always ask is, is this safe? Is this okay to do? And I find always herbs are safe. You got a question?
I have a question, more of a question
Statement.
statement. This is why we don't let Curt have too much food and drink around.
Where did he spilled the herbs?
Yes, you
No.
should have seen him in here with ice cream yesterday. Ice cream flying. I'm not even joking. I'm like, Curt, you just turned 30 years old. You got to help me out.
That is such a party foul. You just spilled.
When you're doing
Liquid gold.
shots with Chapa, you got to lick the desk.
Yeah, I mean, liquid gold. I mean, my
Dang.
goodness.
He's like, this isn't
Well,
macaroni
I
and
was-
cheese.
I was mad. I was like, oh, it smells so bad.
So
Look at it. It's on the video, and you're over there wiping your keyboard. My gosh.
Okay, so do I switch this around?
Yeah. So we want to switch this around. So what we'll do is we'll go in a little stride because you really want to switch this for about 15 seconds, and
He's over there pouring more. He's gonna spill it again.
I am not.
Okay, I hope
building
this one goes down the hatch. So I'll talk, and I will switch mine after y'all, so that there's not a whole lot of silence on the radio.
Gotcha.
And then y'all can give your dissertation of what y'all experienced. Now,
Ooh.
here, before y'all do this, I want y'all to just experience when y'all start talking again. What is it that you feel? Where do you feel it? And your overall, experience as
Awesome.
it's happening. Now, you can't drink any water after this, so you get the full effect.
Okay, something else somebody had mentioned earlier was if there was anything about elderberry before we do this. But so we switched this around for how long? Do we count to a certain time or just till we can't take it anymore?
No, for about 15 to 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so
Wait, you swish it?
yes, we're
Oh.
going to swish it
To health.
to good health and wellness with Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. This is Dr. Aaron Chapa giving herb shots to the team over here at Kickstart Radio 99.5. We are having some fun in this studio this morning. Echinacea, a great herb, a great remedy for all systems in the body. The body has a receptor sites for the echinacea's effects all throughout your body, every tissue, cell, organ, gland. And this is a great way to turn your brain on, turn your immune system on, just to help improve circulation. I'm loving what I'm seeing. These guys are gargling, good things to happen. I want to do shots with Chapa. Crystal, come on in. We will definitely hook you up. This is a lot of fun. And he did that on purpose. He's chicken.
I spilled it on purpose.
Yeah, he
oh
is
my
spilled.
God.
So look. So
That's all it is.
whenever, go ahead. So now the experience happens. So y'all give your dissertation, and I'm gonna take mine. Bottoms up.
Okay. So I just did this shots with Chapa. We're going herbal style, baby.
My tongue is on.
It's
fire.
on. You can't even say it. Okay. No, I feel tingling in my mouth, the top of my, mainly in my tongue,
A lot in my tongue.
and I'm getting some in the top of the mouth. And so when Dr. Chapa mentions like bitter palate, this is it. We've accomplished the bitter palate. So we're listening to KHEA Radio.
Can we take a break? Because I don't know if I
99.5
can
FM.
talk
Oh, no.
anymore.
So look, here's what's gonna experience. You guys are gonna have a lot of salivation happen over the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Every sensation, there's about 15 different neurological sensations that you're gonna get inside of 5 minutes taking this echinacea.
So Leon said we should do some giveaways for herb shots.
Herb shots. Hey, that sounds like a plan. I'm totally in. So, and somebody asked about elderberry. Elderberry, very powerful, very lovely herb plant. Listen, herbs are magic. They're fantastic for the cells. They stimulate the cell receptors to upregulate function. They help immune system upregulate. You can clear out infections that you're dealing with. You might have a mild infection brewing in your body right now because maybe you had, a Starbucks latte filled full of pumpkin spice sugar, and maybe, whatever other sugary breakfast that you might have had. Curt, you're
I'm like salivating out of my mouth. It's
your
You
facial
already
features
produced a lot of saliva too.
are priceless. I hope the
Oh,
camera's
man.
catching the
I'm
full
trying not
effect.
to like.
He's not looking at it, and he moved the camera away. Like it was there with him, and he was like, boop, moved it
I'm
over
like, I
just a
don't
little
want
bit.
people to. This is embarrassing in a little bit.
I don't look like this.
I don't know how I feel about like my mouth feeling this way or getting knocked down by an MMA fighter.
Really?
Like, kind of the same feeling.
Oh, come on. I would say this is much more exhilarating.
Sure.
Well,
Sure.
we can bring
And-
another fighter in.
We could.
Why did we always put ourselves in like situations like this where we're trying things that
Precarious situations on the air.
It just happens. I don't know.
It's just, y'all just have that look like y'all have on your forehead that says, I want a new experience.
I
That
want a
dude needs
new
to get knocked
experience.
out. That's what it is.
this guy.
Yeah.
This guy can jump out of a plane.
Right.
So, JJ, you want to be here with us? Oh, you know what? Next time I'm on your show, I will definitely bring you an herb shot and we will have some fun. So you'll be hearing
shots.
from me today.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So here's the deal: is elderberry is fantastic when you're dealing with fevers, when you're dealing with immune challenges. I mean, I've got a friend of mine who makes little elderberry gummies, and she mixes some with apple cider vinegar. She mixes it, in in order to make it kid friendly. So because kids, we want to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
And y'all know when flu season starts, right?
Is it among
November 1st?
November. He listened.
Hey, you know why?
High five. Why?
Because
Educate us.
Because the night before is Halloween, and kids are out late,
Right.
and they eat lots and lots of sugar,
Right.
so their immune system shuts down.
That's right.
And then the colds happen the next day.
That's pretty
Or
much
the
how the
flus,
game
yeah.
begins, and then they start passing it around.
What do I get? Do I get a prize for
another
remember-
You get
shot of
another
echinacea?
herb shots. That's
Oh my gosh. No.
So what we're all about is finding ways to stimulate your immune system. The liver has 600 pathways that can be stimulated. So what we want to do, your immune system, there's not an organ in your body that is your immune system, right? Like your liver is your liver and it's your detox organ, right? But your immune system is an alliance. It's an alliance that's made up of your digestive tract, the front line. It's an alliance of your liver because it is filtering and processing. It's your spleen filtering out old, worn out white blood cells, red blood cells. It's your thymus gland. It's your lungs. It's pretty much any mucous membrane tissue, your sinuses.
I've heard of all those, but the thymus gland, what does that one do?
That lives right behind your chest bone, your sternum, and it produces white blood cells.
Okay, cool.
And or T cells. And so the bone marrow and the thymus produce the mass, white blood cell count we have. And so a lot of the therapies that we offer, if you're chronically ill, we had I guess she's about 18, come in yesterday for a follow-up. Her number one complaint is she gets sick 2 to 3 times a month. She has headaches almost every day. And inside of a month, headaches cut down to 25%, almost all gone in 30 days. Not bad.
Wow, that's awesome. Actually.
Hasn't been sick the entire month. And all we did is just feed her immune system basic nutrients like calcium, magnesium, zinc, and get her reserves built up. I think a lot of times people, especially that are students, they're studying hard, hopefully, but they typically don't eat the best diet.
I think of like ramen noodles and just a bunch of processed food, really what's easiest.
That's right. That's why people put the freshman 15 on when they go off to college, because you're on a tight budget, and then the stress of the school and all that process burns your body down faster than it can repair itself. And then you still feel like you can get into the sugar like you used to. You don't quite understand or realize the power of food. And as your body ages and accumulates toxins over time, you become less able to keep eating the sugar like you're eating maybe today.
Right.
And so if we can teach people how to, hey, start your day right, living well, we teach to live well every morning, bacon and eggs or a protein shake, something that's, protein and healthy fats. Go ahead.
We got Callie, and she just said, I'm always sick, always have been. I will be contacting Dr. Chapa. So if somebody is feeling, like you described them when you were talking about the person,
right?
How would they get in contact with you?
So call us, Callie. I would love to help you not be sick all the time. It's no fun. You can't be productive. Our phone number is 281-554-8600. 281-554-8600. You can go to our website at justlivewell.com. And we have a lot of cool health surveys up there about allergies, sleep issues, hormone issues, digestive challenges, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And I love to help people appreciate that what your body develops over time, it can undevelop. If you came out of the womb missing a thyroid, like we had a person last week chime in that they had a daughter that they didn't have a thyroid. They were born without a thyroid. Well, that doesn't mean that we can't help them, but the odds of us growing a thyroid in that case probably isn't as likely, but there are things we can do to support that. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
But if you are not genetically born with whatever symptom pattern you're dealing with today, whether it is you get headaches, whether you have skin problems, whether you have heart issues, blood pressure challenges, cholesterol issues, digestive challenges, bloating, gas, burping a lot, you don't have a bowel movement every day, 80% of your health gain would be tied up in your digestive tract.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would love to be of service to you in any way, because I bet you there's a simple thing that you can do just on the basic building blocks of health and wellness that we teach in our basic fundamentals program that can help you not be sick all the time, and you can have the vitality you want going forward.
So I have two things. First of all, we do have a poll up if you're watching on our Facebook page. And answer that question. We posted the poll. Should we have more Dr. Chapa segments? And so far, the yeses have 73%, and then signing them up for another year has 27%.
Yeah.
We didn't even give them a no option because we do not want no option. So
You guys are awesome.
The other question that I have, here's the weird thing that's happening since we did the echinacea shots. I was sniffling a little bit this morning. Not bad, but just a little bit. Right now, I don't have the sniffles. So just even taking that echinacea shot took those sniffles away. Do you have any explanation for that?
Absolutely. So I used this word a moment ago, mucous membranes. The mucous membranes in your sinus cavities also line the digestive tract. And the reason that we like liquids so much is we can rapidly stimulate the surface square footage in your digestive tract to upregulate immune function faster. So you get about 195 different neurological sensations inside of 15 seconds of swishing that stuff around. So we increased brain to immune upregulation. We increased the mucous membrane stimulation of your immune system in your digestive tract. And that level of stimulation brought a level of circulation through that literally cleansed out the sinus cavities that fast. And it does work, guys, that fast. And when that's another way you know you're getting the real deal is when you can get a response that fast.
So that feeling that I have in my mouth, that sensation, it's kind of just going through my body and making that whole thing happen through my digestive tract.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
That's
And
crazy.
think of how your mouth feels. Everything inside you is waking up just like that.
Yeah.
The one thing, so would you recommend people who have sinus problems or allergies to take echinacea instead of like Claritin or something like that?
Absolutely, because as opposed to just blocking your histamine pathways,
Mhm.
Right.
which a lot of these medications do, we use echinacea or a lot of the other sequential immune upregulation protocols that we build for patients in the office, tailored to whatever their issue is. We are focused on upregulating their body to go and find the problem, the root problem, and they cleanse it out. Just like you're seeing that I can breathe, that feels really good. Well, things like echinacea will literally, long term, Kerry Bone travels the world with it. They always say, oh, you only supposed to take echinacea like vitamin C when you're sick. Mm-hmm. Not true. You can take echinacea every day if you want a healthy brain, healthy circulation system, if you want healthy, tissues. Because the more you revitalize the tissues daily, those tissues will continually, function better. Anything that allows stagnation in the body to occur, milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ice cream, whey protein, for example, will create and lead to disease processes. But when we're looking at echinacea, this herbal, it doesn't allow stagnation. Do you think anything is going to try to stand in the way of what you're?
No, it's gonna
Wow.
it's gonna knock it out.
I just broke something loose too.
Yeah.
So and I didn't have any, but that Catterall response is it's a detox. It's a cleanse to the tissues.
It's cool.
Wonderful.
I think this is really I might have to get a bottle of this every day.
Bottoms up.
Before we come in and do the show. I still find it really weird, and maybe we can talk a little bit about this for dietary issues as well, because you do dietary stuff.
Right.
I have, just usually the problem with the allergies is in the right nostril, not the left nostril, just the right nostril. Is that something that's caused by the food that you're eating, or
Like you can only breathe through one side of your nose.
it's only one side is dealing with that that I assume is an allergic
You said
reaction.
it's on the right side?
The right side.
Yeah, so it could be either, and it could be either ear, but a lot of times you have a glitch on that side. That's where the infection's rooted, and the body is struggling on that side of the body. A lot of times you see things gravitate to the right side because you have such a massive drop of your lymphatics drain more to the right than it does to the left, so that it can be filtered through the liver and then processed out the body and the kidneys and the bowel. And so in your case, we are changing. Next week, I'll bring a product called Thymex, and we'll chew some Thymex up in the office.
You chew it?
We chew it,
Okay.
yeah, and it tastes terrible.
Great, I'm excited for that.
You'll love the echinacea in comparison.
You're not here next week.
Oh, you're right.
Are you on a cruise again?
No, I'm not on a cruise. My wife and I are going to a Love Recon event, and it's like a
Do you want to take your Curt with you?
a Curt, the cornless Casper?
Yeah.
I travel wherever Dr. Chopper goes.
Okay, fair enough. He's my fan club.
I need my echinacea. I need my
Next week,
Thymex.
we're still taking echinacea shots without you. And we're in memory of Dr. Chopper.
Hey, I think
Pour
y'all
one out
should.
for Doc Chop.
That's right.
And then one for me, one for my homie who's not here.
All right, so I just saw, I can't see all of our feeds, but there was a nice feed about even with kids. There was a young little boy that came in that had, when he came into the office, he had oozing earwax out of his ears, and it smelled like infection.
Wow.
And over the course of time of us working with him, he doesn't have that problem anymore. You know what I mean? And it's really fascinating. The body wants to heal, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what types of challenges that you're dealing with. Your body wants to heal. My son, he loves chewing up Thymex. My kids, I would love to bring them into the studio one day and let them chew all these things up for you, because they chew quite a bit of these things. And I have a video on YouTube of my son when he was a little baby, chewing up Thymex and Cataplex B and all these things. And I was trying to teach people that little kids, they don't come out of the womb wanting sugar. They want food, nourishment. And so they'll just chew up whatever. And if we develop their palate early, then you have less of an issue. I saw this little post this morning where they had these videos, I don't know, it was like one of those dramatic, 35 million kids are forced to eat vegetables every day, and they have all these funny videos of these kids falling out of chairs, spitting out broccoli. Listen, guys, it only takes 17 exposures to little Johnny's palate to get him to like the broccoli. Mm-hmm. It might take you 17 years to get him to get broccoli into his system, one bite a year. But guess what? You have a limited number of time to plant seeds of good health and nutritional strategies into your children. So take the time while they're young to get them to take a bite of food that is real. Don't let them just eat sugar each and every day because it's easy and convenient. Cook them a meal, make them try it, make them eat it. It's not going to kill them. It's not going to hurt them. And then maybe even film it, and we could have our own little, vegetable blooper show of your kid, falling out the chair whenever when we make them eat veggies.
That'd be fun. I'm fortunate. My son, he likes vegetables and he likes fruit, and I don't know. Like, he was the other day walking by and we had a little thing of tomatoes on the counter, and he was popping them like he's eating peanuts, just little. But I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Oh, so yeah, I just lost that.
I got it for you here.
Yeah,
I think I just saw
me.
that. This came in from Leah Frakes. She's one of our good friends. She says, "Hey
what's up,
guys, Dr. Choppa, I have a 6-year-old on the spectrum. We have seen a big difference in him when he takes a fish oil supplement. Someone recently told us to give him a B complex and magnesium. Do you have a child or children multivitamin that you recommend?"
Yeah, so we have a whole kids line. It's called the Springboard line. We have chewable Catalin. We have chewable Congaplex. And that's one of the immune fighting process products that we use in the office whenever a kid has a cold or flu, or we want to boost and bolster their immune system. We have Super Newts. Super Newts are fun. We have Immumax. We have all kinds of different immune products that will have things like echinacea and elderberry. Our Immumax has elderberry and echinacea in it. And it's not quite as strong as it is here in the office or in the studio with these guys, because we recognize that kids, maybe don't have the same willpower to, for fun, take some of these fun herb shots that we're doing here in the studio. And we want to make it easier for you to get your kids healthy. So when it comes to fish oil, we have our DHA Junior products. We have cod liver oil for kids and even for infants. And so I always have been a big fan of cod liver oil. because of the DHA EPA balance, the omega 3s, 6s, and 9s, and the fat soluble vitamins that they offer. And we always start at the basics. Every case, I don't care if you've got cancer, I don't care if you've got allergies, I don't care if you've got hormone problems, if you have headaches. We always start with vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, and then we build from there. The foundation launches. So that's what we have, this springboard line where we can offer families that are needing support and help.
All right, we got a next question here from Lauren. Lauren says, Chapa, Georgia is running her first fever. Can I crush Thymex smaller and let her gum it? Already doing calcium food and coral.
Yeah, so perfect. So yes, crush the Thymex up. The Thymex is thymus tissue, and it's an extract of the thymus tissue. It's like the DNA mineral template, and what it does is it will help upregulate T cell production. And when you put the coral on the gums, the coral, let's say that some of the issue of her fever today is that she is teething. So the coral is the simplest, safest way to put calcium right on the tissue that is breaking through or the teeth are breaking through that tissue. It's basically like a personalized surgery that's happening when the teeth break through. The Thymex will upregulate the immune system. The coral will supply the immune system its basic building blocks. The magnesium is also going to be in that same protocol that you've got, calcium food, and the coral, and then with the Thymex, you're going to have that immune support that you need. And you should see you should do it right now just for fun. Tell us what the temperature is. Do it. Take that little protocol. So maybe 1 or 2 Thymex, rub it in her cheeks, and then email us back in 15 minutes and just tell us what the fever went down to. And I bet you'll see an improvement, and you'll see a change in her mood and temperament. You ever had a kid with a fever? They kind of get lethargic and they get droopy and they don't feel good. Well, when we do these protocols, you'll pop them up. They'll get kind of excited about life again. They'll feel good. But then over the course of about 30, 45 minutes, you might see it dip again. And that's how you know how real an infection is how quickly does the symptoms come back. And all that tells you to do as a parent is to dose again. So sometimes we have the right ideas, dosing or product, but we don't dose heavily enough to get them through the woods. And so if we can dose, sometimes I've got some. Yeah, there you go, Curt. Just bottoms up. And
dose it up.
Yeah, and so when you take 15-minute intervals, 30-minute intervals, hour intervals, a lot of times you'll knock out colds in 6 hours instead of things lingering around for 24. How cool would that be?
That's cool. Right now it's 9:09. You're listening to KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM, also available at KHEAradio.com. If you're watching on social media, I'm going to ask you a favor. Go ahead and share this out on your Facebook feed. I guarantee there are people in your life that can benefit from living better, that can benefit from eating better and knowing there is a better way. Like we had Callie. She asked a question earlier. She said, I've worked in healthcare for over 10 years. I never knew that there were clinical nutrition offices I could go to. So glad I finally know this. So Callie, if you share this out, I promise you there's people on your social media lists and friends and family. I mean, nobody wants their family to be sick and friends to be sick. So let's spread some news and get some positive going in their life today.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for sharing, because here's the thing. I believe Congaplex should be in every medicine chest in America. And I've been saying this for a long time. And the reason is because I have, most of the time when we have a tickle in our throat, we have a feeling that we're getting sick in our home, we start ramping up Congaplex. And typically within 24 hours, that thing never took root. Our kids wake up the next morning feeling like $1 million.
Wow.
And the reason for that is because of the amount of nutrients. Like Congaplex, for example, has Thymex in it. Or Thymex is in Congaplex, calcium lactate, which is a 1 to 2 chemical reactions away from being used. And calcium is one of your number one immune minerals, along with magnesium. It's got ribonucleic acid in it, so it upregulates brain function, so the brain can see more clearly what it's trying to work with and deal with, and what's supporting the immune system. And then it's got cataplex AC in it, which is going to help strengthen the mucous membranes that we talked about earlier. You see, none of the things that I offer in my office treat disease. None of my office, we don't do that. What we do is we take care of the people that come in by supporting their body's immune system, supporting their digestive function. And just like Curt had that experience clearing out his sinuses and how his allergies went away when he was doing his detox, we're more in control of the symptoms that come at us every season of life, because every season of life brings a new level of challenge, whether it's allergies, whether it's flu, whether it's bacteria, whether it's strep throat, whether it's stomach bugs, whether it's vomiting, diarrhea, whatever it is that you're dealing with. We want to help you understand that you're in more control than you realize. And we teach people how to live better, be better. Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center in League City, Texas, 281-554-8600. Come visit me, come visit my staff, Jennifer, Withy in the office. We all are in this game to help people live better and be better and stay better, one bite at a time.
Curt, did you get a raise? What is this like fancy water? I've never seen this before. It looks like
I can't tell that to you because I don't want you to get jealous.
Did you get oh my goodness, you get paid?
Since from the Hot Dog Chronicles, they're like, the Hot Dog Chronicles, you do a lot of work with
fair.
that.
What is that? Is that like a fancy water or is it like Gatorade?
No, it's I don't know.
Dr. Chopper, can you tell us what is this? It's called Bliss citrus berry natural flavor.
Let me take a look.
Ooh, it says reduce stress, which sounds like good marketing. I feel like a lot of people are stressed. Curt, are you stressed?
I'm a little stressed. I have to put up with you every morning.
That's fair. Are you stressed anymore? Did that make it go away?
Just one sip.
So look, watch this.
Uh-oh. So I'm not going to be able to drink this anymore.
And again, you guys know that I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I want to educate people and teach people what they're dealing with. So ingredients: reverse osmosis filtered water. It's fantastic. But now, here's something people don't know. So y'all know how I always have these 4 deadly food additives, right? Mm-hmm. Monosodium glutamate, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, artificial sugars. So that's your sucralose, aspartame, saccharin. That's your yellow, blue, and pink palette. In that. Oh, then you know it's junk. The minute I haven't even got down there yet, by the way. and then partially hydrogenated oil. If you keep the 4 deadly food additives out of your diet, out of your lifestyle, what you eat's important, but what you don't eat is
even more important.
You got it. Curt is on it today.
I'm on it today.
I'm giving you more echinacea every week.
The thing about it, like, you knew there was sucralose in there, and you're just like, I'm going to do it anyway. But I mean, a lot of people do that in their life.
That's right, because and that's an interesting thought that we I think Paul even said, I know what I should do, but I don't do it. I know what I want to do, and I don't do it. And it's so easy. It's convenient, or it's good marketing. Who knows? But this is what I want to say to this. Crystalline fructose. Do you know what that is?
Corn.
It is high fructose corn syrup. It's the new name. And guess what? There was no marketing that taught people that. This is a secret.
Right.
That they are still putting high fructose corn syrup in your drink here as the second ingredient. It's sugar water. Then you have natural flavors. Who knows what that is? Reduced sugar fruit extracts, and now this is where they get to this is where they can probably say they're reduced stress and vegetarian and gluten-free and lactose-free, because they put in acai berry, pomegranate, blueberry, and they put some L-theanine in there. Then they got citric acid, malic acid, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, then the sucralose. Why do they have to go and screw it up with sucralose?
Well, I wonder if they took it out, like, it probably wouldn't taste as good. I mean,
because it's sweet. It's a sweetener.
Wasn't there a company that's getting sued now that said basically, hey, this is a healthy option, and everyone believed it, and then it's the LaCroix,
LaCroix sparkling water.
Yes, that's what it was.
That they were putting like cockroach pesticide in the water, but there's some people that there's still speculation on if it's legit, or if it's just hype and whatnot. But
again, they put that stuff in everything.
But in this case, it's blatant. Like, here it is. These are chemicals that you don't need. These are known biological warfare agents. They're known chemical agents. They're bad for your brain. We don't want to. We live in a world where people need brain power. We want our kids to focus. We want our kids to learn better. But yet we feed them baked sugar, processed food, and we expect them to function well. You know what I mean?
So
It's
Susie
silly.
Foster, she has a question. She asked,
Susie!
Dr. Chapa, what's your opinion on alkaline water? First of all, I don't know what that is.
So alkaline
Batteries?
water, alkaline, yeah,
Battery water?
You put a D-cell battery in your water, and all of a sudden you get like the Energizer Bunny.
Boom, energy.
So my take on alkaline water. So your stomach acid pH is it's actually like 0.1 low something whenever it comes out of the chief cells of your stomach. Once it gets intermingled inside the gastric juices of your stomach, it rises up to about 2.2, 2.4. It's still very acidic in its nature. When we use alkaline water, we raise the peptic acid juices in our stomach to a too high of a pH. And then if you are trying to eat food that is supposed to be digested in a low stomach pH balance, you don't digest as well. So you should not drink. Thank you, Miss Withy. I'll talk to the Nevaton and stress in just a moment.
People need stress relief.
That's right. And
Yeah.
this is a huge, and I'll give everybody my little stress triad protocol today because it is powerful. But back to this alkaline game, is alkaline water does potentially offer some value away from food. But the reality is long term, we are very much acidic. So the marketing ploy there is that if we can make you more alkaline, then we can make you less disease forming. So, but you don't want your stomach to be a high pH. You won't digest your food well. You will have incomplete digestion. Therefore, you won't maximize your absorption. And you could eat the healthiest food on the planet, but if you're not absorbing it, it's useless, right?
Right.
So if we're not digesting it well, we're limiting our body's ability to absorb well. And so we want you to absorb well, live well, and be well one bite at a time. We want to keep your stomach at a low pH, not at a high pH. So and this doesn't just mean alkaline water. This is all fluid. We shouldn't drink fluid with our meal. I take just enough fluid in to take my supplements. And so and the reason for that is I want to try to keep my stomach acid as acidic as possible so that it can break down the food. It can ward off parasites or pathogens like bacteria, viruses that might be coming through on my food that I'm eating. I mean, let's say that I'm eating a raw carrot, or I have picked up an apple, a poisoned apple like Curt got this morning at the gas station. He didn't like that apple, and so what if maybe he was brilliant in listening to his taste buds say this doesn't taste like an apple.
I feel like he just doesn't eat many apples, and he's like,
No,
This
I like apples
is a
that
true
are.
story though.
I like apples that are like watery. That one wasn't very watery.
you like apples that are in pie. If we're being legit, you like apples that are been like mixed up in ice cream from
or
Cool
like
Cow.
a la mode.
Oh my gosh.
So I would definitely say so you drink it all day. What's a good alternative to bottled water? So we use a Berkey filtering system in our house. It lowers the cost of your water down to like 19 cents a gallon. It's absolutely awesome. And I drink that as well. I make my tea with it. I boil my water with it. I make soups with it. All of those. So this is just simple. You could obviously buy bottled water, but really, I always have to kind of question, it's in plastic. Am I sucking the estrogens out of the plastic in my water? Because is it leaching? I know it's not supposed to, but how do I really know? So I'd rather, we have to drink water. Our body's made up of, 60 to 70% water. The more hydrated we are, the better our cells detox, the better our brain functions, the better our body processes information from point A to point B. And so what do you want to be drinking? You want good filtered water. You either filter your water or you become the filter. And you don't want all those toxins from whatever water supply you're bringing in to be polluting your tissues. So you want to filter the water. And y'all have y'all seen that Life Straw?
I have, yes.
Yeah, y'all should do an experiment on the Life Straw. Bring
We
some
have
dirty
some here.
swamp water in and let Curt suck dirty swamp water with
Pastors.
yes.
Pastor Hallam has some.
He
Okay.
actually has a company that makes those.
Oh, sweet. So
They have the lips on it, like the Mick Jagger
that's
lips.
so rad.
It's
So
cool. I
let's
think I
talk.
have
Let's
one.
talk a little bit about this. Okay, and Susie, if I didn't answer your question, just ask me a different way, and I'll try to answer it. Because I want to talk to the stress concept a moment. Because stress plays so much into digestion. I think that so many people that are living on Tums and antacids today are dealing with that because stress is high in their life. When stress goes up, your body doesn't produce stomach acids because the blood flow went to your extremities for fight or flight. And when stress goes up, stress is running from the metaphoric grizzly bear. It's chasing schedules. It's, dealing with life's challenges and whatever those look like for you. And it's how well does your body handle stress?
Mm-hmm.
So when stresses go up, you limit the amount of digestion that's going to happen. You create peptic ulcers with stress.
Wow.
You create stomach issues with stress. And I think it's because we're not getting the necessary blood flow down to that tissue. It's not lubricated well. And then we're putting in this hot dog and processed food. No offense to the hot dog that was sitting in front of me.
Hot dog
And, and so now the body has to work really hard at digesting something that maybe should have been easy because it was fake food, but now it's fake food in a system that is not being supplied the nutrients because it's dealing with day-to-day stresses.
I thought something interesting you said was that if you don't filter your water, then you become the filter. And if you think about it, our body is pretty much a giant filter, and it's trying to filter the good stuff so it sticks to us, and then it takes out the stuff we don't need and lets it go. But if you're just putting bad stuff in there, it's going to be a filter with only bad stuff sticking to you, right?
And that's right. And like Susie just recommented, she said the water in her area isn't good. And guys, I don't know how good the water is anywhere, but here's what I know. Just take that extra step and filter it. The Berkey is an affordable water system.
How do you spell that?
Berkey. And there's plenty of companies like Big Berkey, Big Bertha. I mean, I've seen several, used to be affiliates with some, but I mean, there's several out there. You can Amazon them, and find. Now, I would make a comment to this. I have a family of 6 plus a dog and a cat. So
Big fam.
Get the biggest Berkey you can get. Mine's a 6-gallon. It filters way faster because it's gravity fed. Get the extra aluminum and fluoride filter because take the extra step and just filter with the fluoride filter as well as the carbon filters. And so it's a small front end investment, but it really does over time lower your cost down to about 19 cents a day if you break the math down. So 19 cents a gallon as opposed. And then so going to my stress protocol is we use herbs in the office that are calming adaptogenic herbs. So things like ashwagandha, things like Rehmannia, things like rhodiola. And we use a product called Adaptocrine in the office. We use a product called Nevaton, which is St. John's, Shatavari, skullcap, Damiana. And what it's designed to do is to increase your body's ability to break down the stresses that are coming at you, and you can tolerate more of the life challenges that come at you day in and day out, along with number 3, minerals, Mintran. Minerals are God's tranquilizers. And people are like, oh, tranquilizer, I don't want to be sleeping. No, it's not that kind of tranquilizer. But you got to think, if your stress level is at a 7 to a 10 on a 0 to 10 scale, your body is reactive to the world, not responsive. If you use the stress triad that we teach in our office, and you can leverage it to calm down your stress down below a 7 into the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 zone, and your body becomes responsive. What that does is that allows you to digest your food better when you do eat. That allows you to process challenges or inconveniences that may turn into a stressor much more effectively. It's easier to handle an inconvenience than it is a crisis, right? Well, how many times does a molehill turn into a mountain of stress? And is it always because of the stress, or is it because our bodies don't process stress well, and so everything becomes a mountain?
One thing that we had a keto fat buddies in, and we were talking about anxiety, in terms of like, hey, eating well and eating healthy
Mm-hmm.
can actually get rid of anxiety and get rid of stress.
Totally.
And I was thinking this, when I eat bad, I do feel
More agitated.
more agitated. I feel like I have more anxiety. I feel like I stress
So can I
out
help
about
you out
little
with
things. Yeah.
So let's talk to that a little bit. So remember how I always tell you, what you eat's important, but what you don't eat is
More important.
more important. So on a keto diet, what's happening is we're taking so many junky things out of your life.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you don't put junk in, you don't get junk out. Your digestive system contains 3 million more neurotransmitters than your brain. 3 million. Okay? So that butterfly system that you have in your stomach, your sixth sense, so to speak, you almost can feel like something doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
Right.
The healthier your digestive system is, the more you process threats that aren't a threat yet. You can read the system. You can read the signs of your environment much more effectively because your gut is calm, cool, and collected, and you can respond to those 3 million more neurotransmitters.
Well, I think also because, when you're eating healthy, like if I'm eating bad, it's because I'm going out and I'm getting fast food. So I'm not taking the time. So you have more time to think about things when you're cooking and focusing on like, hey, I got to go spend an hour in the grocery store.
I can't mess this up.
I
that's
can't.
right.
I'm not thinking about, this.
But
this
we live in
needs to
such
get
a
done.
world that doesn't allow that. People are
Right.
not having dinners around the table anymore.
Right.
People are struggling to find time to eat lunch. We eat too fast. You're absolutely right. We eat convenience foods way too often. And when you disrupt the ecology in the gut lining, you disrupt those neurotransmitters, and those neurotransmitters now make you more agitated because they're already frazzled. You know what I mean? And now any stress that comes at you that you should be able to tolerate and handle well, you don't handle as well because your system isn't prepped for whatever stress is coming your way.
What you thinking, Kurt?
I'm trying to think about like growing up, having dinner
Around the table and
around
stuff?
the table.
We did. Yeah.
I think I did until like a certain point.
And
then
you
we
had
stopped.
homework and sports and probably
And
your
just running
brother's
around.
getting places.
I don't remember the last time I ever sat down at a kitchen table. I don't have a kitchen table, first of all. I have like a countertop thing. But I don't remember where I've
couch.
sat down and just like ate without like sitting on the couch and eating
Right.
food. Like I always sit down on the couch, my feet up, TV, chair back.
Well, and that might, but if you think about it, that might be good, but what does your day-to-day like breakfast look like? What does your lunch look like? Are those the ones where you're shoveling food in your mouth? And that's where people get in trouble.
Mhm.
That's definitely my biggest issue.
Tell 'em,
is
what have you been eating for breakfast around these parts?
I went back to my old diet.
Well, today he brought in the apple, and I was like, okay, that's because Dr. Chop is here. He brought the apple, took 2 bites, and threw it away because he wants.
Well, here's the thing. I really want to get back on eating healthy again. Like I really want to do the cleanse again.
So, okay,
It's hard.
let's talk to that a second. What is hard? Like what's stopping you?
The time.
Because it's not just you, like it's everybody that's listening.
The amount
Like-
of time, like, so right now, like on Saturday, I was here for 13 hours. I don't have time to go home and cook. I don't have time to eat. Go to the grocery store. So right now, until we're probably done with the busy season here at the church, I don't know if I have.
So I mean, if I were to throw my 2 cents in on that, because look, I find that in every season of life, there's always a reason not to. But that's how people get into debt. That's how people get into, health debt in this case. Is right now you're young enough that you can get away with some of the, offbeat, dieting that you're doing because you have age on your side. But there will come a time of accumulation where your body won't allow you to cheat like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But here's what I would say. Crock-pot meals, Instapots.
Dude, I was going to tell you to go to the food prep places. You've done that. And I mean, you're going to spend that same amount of money on a fast food. Probably going to spend more at a fast food than you do. It's just making a phone call. And I think being prepared, knowing like, hey, I know it's busy. What do I have to do in my life to make sure I'm prepared? I can make a phone call. I made an order the other day from like one of the food delivery places, and they delivered from Snap Kitchen over on Bay Area to my house in League City. They charged me like $5 delivery charge. And I got like 6 meals.
That's right.
You know, where they have you can get keto friendly, paleo friendly, low this, low that. But that's what I did. And so that's what I had over the weekend because I didn't have an opportunity to get out.
And that helped. And that's preparation. So that's a part of the game, is knowing what's coming at you. What are you going to have to do to course correct to make sure that you don't crash and burn going forward? So we had a good question here about, let's see, thyroid health. Somebody wants me to speak to thyroid health. And, you know, it's interesting. We live in a world right now where everybody's got a thyroid problem. Right? And if you don't know anybody, if you don't have a thyroid problem, your best friend does. I mean, it's a real common issue going on. Mm-hmm. And thyroid is your diesel engine. It's your metabolic go-to, right? It lives just behind in your throat pretty much. And it's inside of what we call the glandular axis. That's going to be your hypothalamus, pineal gland, pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, gonadal axis. So ovaries if a female, testes if you're a male. And so this endocrine axis, this hormonal chain, the thyroid is a key player in driving metabolism. And so people that are dealing with thyroid issues, that are getting put on thyroid medications, in my opinion, what I've seen, what my clinic has taught me, is it's not your thyroid. You have another metabolic issue somewhere else, whether it's a blood sugar glitch, whether it's heavy metals, whether it's chemicals from your body care products, your shampoos, your soaps, your makeups, your dyeing your hair, metals in your teeth. I mean, I've seen people sensitive to dry cleaning. You know, it's how sensitive some of these people are to chemicals in their lives. Mold in your homes. I mean, think of the amount of mildew and mold that's developing in this rainy season we've had. And it doesn't take much mold to offset your system. And so when it comes to thyroid, the thyroid typically is a victim of being bullied, not necessarily the problem. It's just where the symptoms manifest. Mm-hmm. And because it's such a metabolic organ, or gland in this case, since it's such a metabolic gland, it will show symptoms much more frequently, like hair loss or dry skin or gaining weight or the lateral third of your eyebrows to start falling out. Wow. Or you feel sluggish and tired. Your body feels swollen in the neck. Well, these are thyroid symptoms that you probably have. You got something, Curt?
I was gonna say, I remember growing up, my brother, my middle brother, had thyroid issues that they tied to like his ADHD. That was like, or something like that, where he was like angry, like all the time, and they were like, "Oh, it's because your thyroid is off." Mm-hmm. And they said is the easiest way to tell that your thyroid is off is that your elbow becomes cracked. Am I on the right track on that? Or am I?
Well, I can't say that's not a telltale sign. Typically, when I see elbows cracked or knees cracked or heels cracked, I think of essential fatty acids on the simple, or possibly somebody's developing a bit of psoriasis, which would be on the knee part or the elbow part that you're describing. But when we're talking about thyroid, it's typically hair loss, weight gain, fatigue, headaches, feeling like, you just don't have that motivation. You lost your drive. You lost your edge.
Maybe
lost your mojo.
What it was that was as a kid, like he was just not feeling himself.
Exactly. So when you see that lull, and what I'm telling you is people always jump to, I need some thyroid medication. And when people bring me thyroid panels, it drives me nuts because doctors are still looking at TSH as the number one gold standard marker, and it's the most not gold standard marker. It is it fluctuates. We could get a scare today, and we'll have a change in our TSH numbers, and that's thyroid stimulating hormone. You need to look at T3 uptake, T4. You need to look at thyroid peroxidase antibodies and thyroglobulin antibodies and see if your thyroid really is under distress. And we do all these tests in our office. Mm-hmm. So Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, 281-554-8600. If you do think you have a metabolic problem, we have metabolic solutions for you. And we believe that your thyroid is not your problem. It's just where the symptoms are manifesting. We want to go upstream. Typically, it's a liver congestion issue. That's typically caused from constipation. I mean, I can't tell you how many times you open up the lower end floodgates, the liver starts draining, because what the liver will do metabolically is it will send a message to the thyroid and say, slow down, thyroid. I can't keep up with your metabolic production today because I can't deal with the trash, debris, byproducts that are being developed from that metabolic action, and I can't get it out fast enough. So please slow down. And then we go in and whip a dead horse with thyroid medication. I don't think that's the solution.
Right now it's 9:35. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. You can listen to us at KHEAradio.com or listen right here on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. Make sure you like this video, share it out to your friends' feed so everybody can get this information. They can ask questions. Right now we have a question Vanessa asked, and you had mentioned psoriasis. Vanessa's question is, how do you help people with, is it eczema?
Eczema, I'm
sorry, or psoriasis.
By the way, eczema is definition is a skin disorder of an unknown cause.
They don't even, supposedly they don't even know.
Right. But eczema typically shows up in the soft part of your elbow, not your bony part. Psoriasis typically shows up on the bony part of your elbow, not your the soft part. And the same with the knees and the back of the knee. And so eczema is a dryness of the hands, it's basically your body detoxing, or let's just say what it is, it's pooping out of your skin. And so because of an exit channel glitch where the intestines are not dumping toxins well, the kidneys are not filtering lymphatic waste well, the liver backs up and gets congested, and it says, guys, I got to find a solution for this. I'm going to push it in my lymph. The lymph says, guys, it can't stay here. I'm going to get an infection. So the body's got secondary and tertiary exit strategies whenever the main exit strategies are dislodged or broken or have slow stagnation occurring. Remember, stagnation leads to disease. So it's really important to realize the more the stagnation happens, the more you're prone you are to disease. And so when you're dealing with eczema, psoriasis, we look to the liver and we help the liver get rid of waste. Well, if the liver can't dump into an already toxic bowel, we got to fix the bowel. So what it'll do is if it can't get out the body, it goes into the lymph. The lymph don't want to get infected, so they pass it off to the ears, eyes, nose, throat, which that is where your ENT specialization comes in, where people have allergies and they have, acne on their face. They have, I think even vision problems. They have hearing problems. They have earaches. They get tonsillitis. They get swollen lymph nodes. And then you've got lung issues, asthma, wheezing, air hunger, excessive yawning. And then you've got skin challenges. That's your eczema, psoriasis. That's your acne, your body acne. That's your body odor. And that's where these things, and the eczema, psoriasis is just the symptom of something upstream that has to be addressed. So it's an excellent question. And a lot of times the symptoms are just that. They're check engine lights telling you something's wrong, and you need somebody not to put just a lotion and potion on it. You need somebody to go in there and help you change your lifestyle, change your diet. And that's what we do at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. Jennifer and I are committed to helping patients work through these challenges because we are all busy. We can all say that we're too busy and we don't have time. But they say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I want to teach people and help people understand that you're in more control than you realize, and what you were if you weren't genetically born with it, your body can undevelop it. So great question. Thank you.
It is 9:38. We had somebody text in that was asking about some thyroid stuff. They were listening at KHEAradio.com, I assume, and they were asking if you were talking about hyper or hypo or just in general. I think you were talking about
so
it
in this case,
general.
I was specifically speaking to hypo, probably thyroid.
Okay.
Hyperthyroid is a little bit different beast, and definitely something we work with. And we don't necessarily attack it from the same vantage point because there is definitely some metabolic glitches. But the mass majority of people walking around today with thyroid problems, they're not hyperthyroid issues, they're hypo. And again, when I talk to these things, I'm never making light that it's going to be an easy ride for you. When your body develops a disease, in the beginning, disease is hard to recognize, but easy to fix. And in the end, disease is easy to recognize and hard to fix. So we do want to try to catch things early, and everybody's got a story and everybody's got a case. That's why we do a timeline history. That's why we look at blood panels. That's why we look at, these different testing procedures to see if we can figure out why your body's breaking down and give you some solutions on how to start course correcting to get out of that boat of disease processes that your body's going through. Because, I just know that in the Merck manual, there is hundreds of disease processes out there. But all it is your body manifesting in that department. It doesn't mean that is the end problem.
Interesting.
So, good.
Whenever you mentioned blood panels, it reminded me of whenever we were trying to find out what kind of blood type I was. But my fingertips are really hard from playing guitar, like for most of my life. And so it was like, man, your finger's hard. I was like, yeah, I got calluses. So we had to move to a different one or like poke again. But I made positive.
There you go. And so, and think about this. If you look at the different clotting factors in the blood, and I'm not 100% everything blood type, but I do find that there are obvious things that I have seen over 13 years that happen regularly. And so one of the things that goes on is when the body, if you look at blood, if I can't put my blood in you and you can't put your blood in Curt, because we might have a problem of, killing one of us, it's not a far stretch to think that some of the blood types require certain types of food.
That makes sense.
Over other types of food. And so this is one of those areas where I use blood typing as a tool to help us move forward.
Cool. What you thinking, Curt?
I'm thinking that I do really want to do you
want to do a detox? Hey,
look at Lauren says. She says double meals and throw them in the freezer. Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah, that's one way.
I think if maybe to start this, maybe even tomorrow morning, just getting somebody to say, hey, like I'll have you prep all 3 of my meals and then just pay $100, so I don't have to, because again, like going to the grocery store and finding that is really difficult to do sometimes. So I need to make sure that this is the right decision. But I feel better when I eat better. And that I've noticed that. And I feel like last week, I don't know what it was that we did or here at the radio station. I don't know where but we eat a lot of food. And I think it just adds up over time. Where we're just like, man, I can't like even go home and like clean. I just want to sleep, and I want to make sure that I'm living the best life that I possibly can.
I feel good, man. I don't know. I love going to all these places. And that's like, people ask, like, how do y'all do that all the time? And
I do too.
To be fair, like we've given ourselves a break and we do that. Like we'll do a bunch, film a bunch, and we call them in the can. So we have those ready and then we'll, do something else. But anyways, I think it's about just being prepared. It's just trying to be prepared.
Well, and I think that, also recognizing that there are marketing dollars that are trying to get you to buy more hot dogs. There's marketing dollars trying to get you to buy, a quote unquote healthy and non-inflammatory water. But the reality is if it's got sucralose in it, artificial sugars, now you have to question the ethics of the company, in my opinion, because they're putting chemicals in there that don't belong. And people say, oh, it's just a little bit of, artificial sugar. Well, I look at it like, sucralose is a type of chlorine, and it's not healthy for you. And so why would you want to sprinkle poison? I mean, if you were to say, oh, just a little bit's not going to hurt me. Well, what if I said to you, oh, a little cocaine's not going to hurt, right?
Right.
And I don't want to be extreme, but at the same time, this is happening every day. This is legal, right? We're voluntarily buying these artificial products, these artificial dyes, these bad oils, and we're calling it healthy. And you have to realize there are marketing dollars being spent right now to get you to buy and fall in love with somebody's product. And
we're doing it here at the radio station. We want you to fall in love with us, so we're doing what we can.
And guys, it's just the name of the game,
right?
But what we're trying to help people understand is that people are out there suffering. They have health conditions, they have health problems, they have symptom challenges that they're dealing with day in and day out, and they don't have answers. And a lot of people are getting sick and tired of
being sick and tired.
Drug, and being sick and tired. Very nice. And that's what we do at our office is we help people with our timeline history, understand where and why their body's breaking down, and then give them solutions on how to live better, be better. So give us a call, 281-554-8600. Go to our website at justlivewell.com. And always remember, share our videos. Take an opportunity, and caring is sharing, so they say, and let people know that we care about you. We want you to live the best life you can. We want you to be your best all the days of your life, one bite at a time.
It's 9:45 right now. We have a couple minutes left. I do want to say thanks to Linda. She had mentioned that Lauren Holloway, she said she'd be a good person to do your meal prep.
There you go.
Yeah, and Lauren I know
holler
Lauren,
at us.
and Lauren Holloway.
Holloway at us.
Holloway.
Yes.
No, and Lauren is a good friend of mine as well, and she is an absolute dynamo. So her family is awesome, and she gets it. She gets all of the teaching that I put forth, and she's an excellent meal prepper.
Sweet. So we have a question who was texted in. I think this goes back to our thyroid questions a little bit. It says, yes, I'm listening. Thanks. Can you ask him what he can say about hyper? Because I'm hyper. I have Graves' disease, and I've changed my diet and fallen a candida diet loosely trying to reverse this disease, and I've seen positive changes. Is there anything you can point me to make this happen, not faster, but remove it?
Yeah, so, and look, a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, if you are making these strides, you're changing your diet, that's number one. You've already got that working for you. The second thing is we want to start supporting the tissues in your body. We want to start feeding your endocrine axis so that it's not seeing this need to be hyperactive. The thyroid needs food. So I use products in the office that will create a downregulation of inflammation in the body. It's kind of the same concept of adaptogenic herbs, but for the thyroid, that can help the thyroid regulate out function. But more importantly, we're going to go upstream. We're going to start looking into other areas of your body, such as digestion, such as liver, and find out what is it that you might be getting exposed to that could be driving that thyroid. I've got doctors that are in my field that will say, oh, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to blow that thyroid up with radioactive iodine. I don't buy that. I think that anything your body can develop, it can undevelop. And now I know that it's not always the case, and I know that this is a sensitive subject for many that have probably already gone forward and had their thyroid radioactive iodine put towards it and removed in some respects. But I believe that whenever it comes to some of these barbaric measures, we have to try the simple. So we want to make the liver work better. We want to make your digestive tract work better. We want to feed the thyroid. We want to go and feed and make sure that there's no barriers to healing, like metal toxicity or metal in your teeth that might be driving that thyroid into malfunction where it's overactive. And so it might not even be me that is the end all stop, but I would definitely be a stepping stone to help you find a solution to why your thyroid is not working like it's supposed to. I've had patients come in that we helped them get ready for the next phase of their care, which was to have a lot of, unfortunate metals removed out of their mouth because they had 17 root canals, and their body's just loaded with infection. A lot of times too with hyperthyroid, there is underlying infection that is driving the thyroid into that hyperactive state. It might be an infection in the thyroid. Now, this is an infection that won't necessarily show up on blood work. And that's where it's tricky, because a lot of times people are coming in with subclinical infections that the body cannot, that it's managing, and so it doesn't necessarily show up as an acute, here I am infection, or it's a straight up stealth pathogen. It's mycotoxins, it's mold, it's there's something driving. And that's why we want to sit down and do a timeline history with you, because hyperthyroid is its own beast, and it is a tough one nonetheless. But I have seen cases of hyperthyroid turn around, and I've seen patients that if you stick with it long enough, and you might find, that you have to live a more diligent dietary restricted lifestyle than say somebody with a hypothyroid that's more easily managed or fixed, because of where your body has advanced to. In the beginning, disease is easier to fix, hard to recognize. In the end, it's harder to fix and easy to recognize. So what we want to help you understand is that sooner that we start intervention and we start looking at ways to help give you some deburdening, so to speak, off of that gland, is your ticket to seeing if this is going to resolve itself, or we have to just find some other managing tools to help fix your problem.
Cool. Right now it is 9:50. Dr. Chapa, we've had an awesome time, and you're not going to be here next week, and that's kind of sad.
I'm a little like,
But we are going to miss you.
Man, it would be awesome if we could do a
Remote. We can remote you in.
I know. Technically, I possibly could. I don't think the program that I'm going to starts until 9:30 or 10. So I could just do a shorter show. I don't know how realistic
call
that is.
in and do a speakerphone for it, I think.
Why don't y'all put y'all's heads together and let me know?
We will.
Because I would totally love to be somewhere else. How cool would technology be if we allowed that to happen?
We're close. That'd be fun. But yeah, no, if that works, we definitely have you call in, say hi, give us some encouragement. We'll need it. I'll tattletale on Curt as he is maybe eating a cookie. Maybe Lauren will be in contact with us, or we can find out a good way to contact her and she can help us out. And
yeah, absolutely.
What do we need to do?
If Lauren, send me your contact information if you're out there, and I'll forward it over to the guys, or you can just put your contact information in the drop below. But definitely, guys, this is Kickstart. We are rocking the house at the Living Well Show, and I love being with these guys. We've had a great time with you all. I love the interaction. Share this post. Let people know sharing is caring. Help people understand that they don't have to suffer. If you got friends, family, loved ones that are dealing with health conditions, health ailments that they were not genetically born with, I encourage you, send them our way. Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. We have a great team, a great staff, great clinicians that care about people, that want the best for you, and we want to teach you how to live better, be better, one bite at a time. And you can call us at 281-554-8600, or you can visit us at justlivewell.com. And we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Dr. Chapa. You're awesome. And we'll see you in a couple weeks, and we'll be talking to you next week, hopefully.
All right. Let's make it happen.
So right now, we're going to transition a little bit. So there is the Bay Area Houston Women's Conference. We're going to pick a winner. So there is a video that we shared. It's actually this Friday. Chef Mary Bass is going to be there. Connie Watt, who is J.J. Watt's mom, she's going to be the keynote speaker there. Me and Curt are going to be there. Texas Chronicles is going to be there. It's going to be a cool event, and everybody's invited. I think there might be still tickets available in select seating. So if you haven't shared that video, I might be too late because we are about to pick a winner right now.
4 of them, right?
I think so. 4 winners going to the Bay Area Houston Women's Conference. Hopefully I win. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to keep it going on KHEAradio.com. We're going to keep the fun going on our Facebook and YouTube streams. So stay tuned. All right. I'm going to pick that trash up I threw across the room.
Hey, we're going to the women's conference. We were one of the winners.
We won? We won?
Uh-huh.
It's all software. So let's see. We're getting
really?
Yeah, it's the software selects it. That's awesome.
All right, we got it.
I know one of the people.
I can unpick it when I select that because we comment on the videos, and so sometimes.
What's up, Michelle?
Did you win?
Yeah.
Michelle, how's it going this morning? Are y'all at the shop? We want to stop back in and say what's up, see how it's going now that the official ribbon cutting has happened and everything. That's a Legacy Collision out in Hitchcock of 2004. Shout out to them. Hey, somebody had contacted us from the blimp base, but everything's been like a whirlwind. I don't know if we ever made that connection like solid to put something on the calendar to go out there. Did we?
No.
Did you ever see that? Somebody from the blimp base?
Yeah, I think we did. We just hadn't done it.
Yeah.
We do have a phone call later today.
So what's in front of the KHEA sign? Oh, Curt was trying to sneak the echinacea. He was like just putting that bottle in there. So this is echinacea. How do you say that? Perea? 1:2 quantified activity M6940 herbal supplement suggested use. So earlier we did
Herb shots.
herb shots with chops. Shots. We did shots with Dr. Chapa, and man, it is like I don't know. It was awesome, but it helped clear up Kurt's sinuses like instantly.
Yes, for sure. It really helped.
Uh-oh, Dr. Chop is crawling across the floor. I'm kind of scared to drink this because after having that, this is a hot dog pen. If y'all are wondering what this is, this hot dog pen my sister gave to me. She said, "Hey, you can give this to Kurt because he has this hot dog outfit, and that's kind of like his thing." That's kind of like his thing. Yeah, check out some echinacea. So what we did is we rinsed it in our mouth back and forth for like 15 seconds or so, and then after that, you swallow it. And so the sensation in your mouth that you get from doing that echinacea shot, it makes your whole mouth tingle. Your tongue is like tingling. And so don't ask me why I know this, but you know how sometimes they make like chapstick and you put it on and it's like hot and it makes your lips feel like it's bubbled, but that's kind of what the feeling you get from that shot, but throughout your whole mouth. What's up?
Hey,
It's talking echinacea shots.
echinacea
Have
shots.
you ever heard of echinacea?
Yeah, it's really good for you.
Oh, it woke me up. I am now woke.
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
That's what the kids are, or they were at least last year, Kurt. I don't know.
Last
We're
year?
about a year behind on the trends, you know.
I am now woke.
But most older people.
Yeah, that's us.
All right. So we got Jennifer. Jennifer does mortgage stuff with Fairway
Mhm.
Mortgage.
Did we
Yes,
find
sir.
the right social media
No,
page?
we did not.
Okay.
It's hard to find. There's
Well,
a lot of Fairway Mortgages.
Yeah, I'm part of the Stephen Curtis group. We're off of Bay Area, kind of near Baybrook Mall. We have lots of loan officers and we continue to grow. Houston's one of the fastest growing real estate markets out there. So we're getting a lot of home buyers who are just now approaching their first home searches.
That's cool. So we have a ton of homes that are coming up around us.
Oh, yeah.
And we like to take credit for that. You know, like as soon as KHEA popped up, next thing you know, they're like, man, we need subdivisions surrounding us.
Yeah, because everyone wants to be as close as they can to the studio, get that celebrity
Exactly.
action.
Kind of. Yes. But no, there are a lot of homes. And so we just thought it'd be cool to bring you in and talk about what all y'all do and how you can help people.
Yeah, well, a lot of home buyers, they don't even know where to begin. There's a lot of information out there and a lot of it's conflicting.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't know what are the right questions to even ask. So they're afraid to approach a lender. They'll talk to a realtor all day because they want to go see what the house looks like, but they don't know what the monthly payment's going to look like, what the possible required down payment will be, and what sales price range they really need to stick in to keep it comfortable with their budget. And a lot of millennials, unfortunately, somehow in the generational trends, they just never were taught how to budget properly.
Yeah.
And so they don't even know how to set that up.
Yeah. So, okay. So I have a house.
Mhm.
Kurt, he's looked for houses and I've gone with him before. We've even gone to builders. We've even gone with realtors. We've had realtors in, we've talked about having builders in, but we've never had somebody like you in. And I feel like I would even say more than money. It all comes down to money and budgeting.
Mhm.
It all comes down to that. Cause you can look at houses all day long, but they're going to tell you, hey, you can't afford this, or it doesn't matter. So how important is that?
Yeah, we're not the flashy part. We don't have all these new build homes to look at. We don't
Yeah.
have all these different apps to show you online. We're just a mortgage company. And so what we do is we really dial in with those numbers with customers. A lot of times people are afraid to talk to a lender, and they have like this fear of a lender seeing their credit or knowing their finances or seeing how much they have saved so
Right.
far in their bank account. So they wait until it's way too late and until it's at the point that they're actually out there looking at homes and trying to make an offer, even speak to a lender. What we encourage clients is to come speak to a lender in advance and prepare in advance. You wouldn't go run a triathlon without ever having some warm-up stretches and trying to go get practicing out there maybe a couple months in advance. So when it comes to something as major as buying a home, which usually is one of the largest purchases a person's going to make in a 10-year period, that's not something you want to do off the cuff and off the fly after they've shown you the nice fancy house with all the bells and whistles. You want to have those conversations up front so you can be a more knowledgeable and educated buyer, because that's really what's going to save you money in your pocketbook and at the closing table.
So is this something that y'all do? Like, let's say I wanted to buy a house. I know right now there's no way. Like, I wouldn't be able to for, whatever reason. My money's not right. My credit's bad. If I said, hey, I want to buy a house in the next 2 years,
Mhm.
hopefully, and I came to you, would y'all be able to say, these are the numbers you need to hit, and this is maybe how you can do it?
Yeah, so what we do is we have clients apply, and we encourage them to apply at least a year out from when they're trying to buy a home. Some clients, when they apply, they're ready to go off the bat right then and there. They just need the hookups with the right down payment assistance programs or loan products to help them to meet that goal, but their credit's already kind of where it needs to be. A lot of buyers, when they come in with us, they have very vague ideas about their credit. They're not really sure what it even takes to qualify.
Yeah.
And so we pull their credit report for them. We go through it with them line by line. We don't just say, here's your credit score. It needs to be to this. Call me back when you're ready. We don't do that. We actually go through and say, these are the things that are appearing on your credit report. This is how they're rolling into your credit score, and educate them on how they can make successful moves in the future to keep that score on the rise. A lot of buyers, when they try to fix their credit on their own, just based off of the varying conflicting information out there on Google, they can actually do more harm than good.
Yeah.
And then they'll get told by their credit union or their bank or the payday loan people, oh yeah, the more loans you take out, the better your credit goes.
Right.
And all these people work off commission. They're trying to close as many loans as they can. And they don't realize that that's not the best way to help a person impact their credit. And there's different types of credit. There's credit like you'd use to go get a car loan, and there's credit for a mortgage loan. So it runs off of different standards.
And there's renter's credit too, or is that the same, or is something tied into?
So there is renter's credit. Renter's credit, they typically go off of one bureau, and that one bureau that they go off of is usually something like TransUnion, and they don't require as high of credit scores. They can get in with lower credit scores to rent, but mortgage does require higher scores than you would need to rent an apartment. And that's why it's important that a lot of renters out there get in their lender's office in advance to make sure that they're on track with where they want to be. And if not, set up a game plan and a goal for what they need to get done to meet that 1 year or 2 year guideline on when they were wanting to buy a home.
So I guess there's the credit bureaus, which you mentioned. And one thing that I don't understand is, okay, there's all these services, there's commercials on TV. I have a credit card and a bank account with Chase. So they send me, like a free credit report. My wife has like a Discover card. They send her like a monthly, but it's not like, looking at it, it's not even the one that they use for that, like the house when they pull.
So for the house, they pull all three bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and they go off of whichever one's the middle score. So your low score could be really low.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's real. They do that.
Yeah. So
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
though.
We're gonna throw out the worst score you have, but we're also gonna throw out the best score you have,
and
we're just gonna
in the middle.
We're gonna get whatever that middle score is. So that
That's
could
fair.
be Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, just whichever one happens to fall in the middle. And so when you're pulling in those monitoring sites and those sites that offer you free estimations on what your credit score is, oftentimes the score that they're providing you isn't even the one that's going to be triggering as your mid score. Not only that, because they're doing what's called a soft pull, okay? And everyone gets really scared about people pulling their credit because they're worried about it dinging their score.
Yeah.
But when you do a soft pull, unfortunately, what they're doing is they're guessing what your middle score is.
Okay.
They're guessing what your score is based off what they can see appearing. The only way to get a real FICO score is to do a real pull on your credit.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. The soft pull. Yeah. Cause that's every time that you do, like, so on that report that I get from Chase, they say credit inquiries in the last 2 years or 5 years or whatever it is. And I guess the lower that number is, maybe the better it is. Cause every time you do a check, you can literally see that it goes down.
Yeah, people are really good about not doing hard pulls on their credit too frequently because they see where on all these monitoring sites it's weighed very heavily as part of their credit score.
Yeah.
What they don't see is weighed really heavily and probably a lot more heavily on their credit score is every time they have a late pay. So one 30-day late pay can drop your score like 60 points.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it stays on there for 7 years even after you've caught up.
30 days, it's super easy to it's like almost like we do a lot of food stuff, and so it's like dieting. It's like it's easy to mess up, but then to get back to where you need to be, it's like, hey, I got to be dedicated for like 3 months because I had one bad week where I just went, crazy. Had a good time.
On the eating
vacation.
out. Yep.
Yeah.
That's usually everyone's weak point. If you go to your bank statement, you go through and you highlight all the times you ate out with convenience food, it usually equals about half of your miscellaneous spending throughout the entire month.
Yeah.
And so it's a big spot that people can cut that they miss out on.
So yeah, if you're trying to save for a house or for something big, that would probably be one of the easiest ways to say, okay, I'm spending this much and I can minimize that by doing this and this and this.
Yep. A lot of people also they'll use their credit cards for everyday purchases. And if they're paying it off at the end of each month, then it doesn't hurt them that bad. But
Yeah.
then
Does it still hurt you?
oh yeah, it does, because when the credit card company goes to report your balance for the month, they report it one day out of the month,
Is it random?
and it's set by them as to what day they're going to report, but it's not necessarily your due date on your bill. So a lot of people think,
Yeah.
well, I paid off my bill
Before.
for the month, and I'm going to go out there and keep using it again. But they'll show that on my credit report, and it's like, yeah, on your credit report, they're going to show that you now have an $800 balance on a $1,000 card, which means
And
you're
it's maxed.
you're,
Yeah.
you're an 80%
I had that
utilization
happen
ratio.
because I was doing points for the same Chase card I'm talking
Yep.
about, and it was awesome. Hey, and I'm getting like double points on food, double points if I'm out of town, and so I'm like, oh, if I buy a ticket or anything like that, airplane, then for those points, I mean, I use them and it's awesome. But then I realized, so the max of the credit card, and so I would pay it off every time I got paid, so I just wouldn't use my debit card or cash. And anyways, my credit, I did a soft pull or something, or one of those monitoring things. I just noticed that it was going down and I didn't understand. And so it's because I was literally, I'll just tell you, it has a $5,000 limit on it. So I might be, $3,000, and it showed as the utilization. I don't know how to word it, but
Yeah.
it needs to be under 50%.
The balance to
hopefully.
limit. Yeah. The balance to your limit, which is called the utilization ratio, it needs to be below 30%. Anytime it starts going above that, you'll see that your scores start to kind of drop off. And really, the lower it is, the better for buyers who aren't really using credit cards but just want to continue their score going. They have to trigger some type of utilization ratio, so they have to have some balance on there, like something small, like $5.
Yeah.
But anything over than that is just excess. It's not needed. Once you trigger that utilization ratio, you don't have to keep borrowing more.
Cool. Yeah. So what I started doing is just having like my gym membership, having
Netflix.
Yeah, just some things like go from there just to have some activity, and then I just pay it off. Everything else, maybe if I do get an airplane ticket, and then I'll pay it off. Like, what did I buy? Oh, I bought something big. Like something for a website and business stuff that I did. So I put it on there, which it was a large amount of money, but I'll just pay it off and
just make sure you get that paid off quickly. Another trick you can do is have them increase the limit on the card. That way, if you do have a major purchase going through and it's going to take you a second to pay it down, that while it's reporting, it's at least not reporting on that low of a limit. It's reporting on a much higher limit, so the balance won't be
More than
as
50,
high
hopefully.
compared to the limit.
Yeah, because they send me stuff all the time, like request a credit increase. But the thing for me, I was like, well, if I request this increase, are you looking at my credit again? You already see my payment history. You should just be able to do it.
Okay,
But I don't know.
with Chase, usually it's like every 6 months or every year they allow you to increase your limit slightly without doing a credit pull. It's
Yeah.
only when you want a significant credit limit increase that they actually check your scores.
Gotcha.
But there's just lots of different ways that people can go about trying to improve their credit. Unfortunately, one thing that they think will do it will be to pay off all their collections, and they don't realize that sometimes that can actually drop their score.
Really?
Yeah. So the way that it works is that each collection is weighed differently on your credit report, and if a collection's really, really old, it's not weighted as heavily as a brand new collection. So they'll get a call from a credit collector for a really old trade line,
You listening?
and that credit that credit collector.
Good information here.
Yeah, that credit collector will tell them, hey, if you pay us, we'll update your credit report.
Right.
That'll fix your score. Well, those credit collectors work off commission.
They just want the money.
They just want the money.
Mhm.
And when your score drops, they're not going to pick up the phone. Like, they don't care. But what
done.
it does is sometimes it'll actually renew the date of last activity on that item. So let's say the item was 5 years old and it wasn't weighing that heavily. They go to pay the item now, and all of a sudden you see that it refreshes with a new date of last activity and hits their score almost like a brand new collection would. So sometimes it can drop their score. So I always tell my clients to speak to a credit repair professional before handling the collections, just because you don't want to pay money to have your score drop further.
So Amanda said, and this is going to be a joke, and I hope it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. Can we talk about what Kurt's going to dress up like for Halloween? Kurt's going to dress up like his credit score for Halloween.
It's pretty scary.
It's an Equifax, or like, I don't know, it just says Equifax report. It's like, just a credit score.
Didn't I
like,
say on one of the shows,
That's
like,
the scariest
actually, like, before the radio station like really took off, I think I did say like our like my credit score on the air.
He did.
Remember that?
He
Like, at
straight
the
up
end of
said
this
it.
stream, I was like, oh, and my
Thank you,
credit
Dr.
score
Pepper.
was.
I'll just take this. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, you did. So you can go back. It's on a stream somewhere if you are curious what Kurt's got. Hopefully it's better than what it was then, because 2 is pretty bad. A credit score of 2.
They don't really go that low.
It's a 1.5.
It's below the scoring model. It's the baseline where they
Man.
used to start.
So Jennifer, we met you at an event in the community.
National Night Out through
Yeah.
Mad Creek. Mhm.
Did y'all have fun there?
We had a blast. There was a really good turnout with a lot of vendors there just reaching out and providing support to there was a local coach that they were just raising funds for. At the same time, we were trying to make it a really good community night out for the kids to have a social opportunity to just meet their friends outside of school, and for
Bounce
the moms
houses.
and parents to kind of get to know each other.
They had barbecue. They had
yeah.
pizza. They had Jennifer.
Yeah.
They had there was some real estate individuals there. Algar's Premier Martial Arts was there, who we
Mhm.
love. They do some pretty cool stuff.
That was a great time.
So do you know Junior? Is that who y'all's contact was for that?
Tanya Robinson, one of my
Tanya.
fellow loan officers, is the one who helped us set up our booth at the event. And so she's the one who got it all coordinated.
That's cool.
Okay, so I have the winners. Can we announce the winners
Yes.
and then maybe do weather and then
And
bring
then
her
we're
on
gonna
the
dive
FM?
into it. Have you heard about the Bay Area Houston Women's Conference? It's with JJ Watt's mom is the keynote speaker. It's Friday. We're gonna be there. It's in Friendswood.
What all are they doing there?
So it starts in the morning. We're going to get there like after our show. So Chef Mary Bass is going to be there doing an interactive cooking segment. There's going to be some other individuals, but the main ones are Chef Mary and that stick in my head, and JJ Watt's mom. So it'll be neat. I don't know. We're going to learn because it's a women's conference. We're going to be there. Apparently there's a guys table. We scoped
I
it
was
out.
going to say, like, I don't know how they get men into a women's conference, but
Yeah.
they're going to be severely outnumbered.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. We're giving away 4 tickets.
I've already announced the winners on the post.
Oh, you
But
have?
we'll announce. I forgot that.
I
last
just
one.
remember. Okay, we'll do it on the FM.
Yeah.
Imelda Garcia, she won. I saw that.
Yes. I got the names.
Have you been to Pierogi Queen? Have you ever heard of that place?
No,
Do
tell
you
me
like
more.
Polish food?
I
Have you
will
had?
eat Polish food. I'm actually Czech, but I'll eat some Polish food.
So wait, is that like a rivalry? Like
Well,
I will not eat Polish
No,
food.
I'm just saying
only-
I haven't had Polish food before. I'm German
Okay.
and Czech, and I've somehow never had Polish food. I don't even know what it would be described as.
I got the place for you. You ready?
Yep.
Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Kurt.
And we have winners. First of all, I would like to say that you are a winner. Everyone is a winner when you listen to KHEA. Kurt, you are a winner
Some days,
today.
if we're going by my credit score, I'm always a credit score winner.
Yeah,
I have a big number,
yeah, okay.
but some have bigger than me. But I'm still a winner.
You're still a winner. You know, and
'Cause
everybody's
it's above at least 100.
everybody's a couple of good decisions away from increasing and being in a better position. We're going to be learning about that here in a bit. Right now, we're going to announce these winners. We had a good time with Dr. Chapa. He's awesome. So next week he won't be in, but he will be in the next week after that. So we have winners. We have 4 winners who have won tickets and access to the Bay Area Houston Women's Conference that's in Friendswood at Hope's Village, put on by Top Star Marketing and Pierre Castillo. And thank you to Top Star Marketing, and thank you to Texas Chronicles History, Mystery, and Adventure for helping sponsor this giveaway so we could give these tickets away to you guys.
Yeah, so the 4 winners are Laura Butler, Sarah Clay, Jamie, I'm going to mess this up, Gilroy.
Just move on
I'm
to
going to
the
say
next one.
Gilroy, and then Imelda Garcia.
Yeah. So shout out to you guys. Thank you all so much for following the directions and playing by the rules. You are going to be at the women's conference.
Yeah, so if you are listening over the air right now or you're watching on Facebook, please send us a message with your email address because we need to get you registered with Top Star Marketing. We haven't given them your names already so they know to have your name tag ready when you walk in, but we just need your email address so that they can get you registered.
Yes. So JJ Watt's mom's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm probably going to be trying to get a selfie with JJ Watt's mom just because I think it's cool. And so if you see somebody like getting escorted out by security, it may be me. Maybe Kurt. I don't know.
Hey, Amber, can you bring us some? We need some in our life as well, please.
So right now we're going to take a look at the weather, and then we're going to get into mortgages, homes, credit scores. We're going to get into everything that has to do with you getting into maybe the home of your dreams, maybe what's right for you at this time in your life. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is the KHEA Radio Kickstart Weather Center, brought to you by Texas Chronicles, History, Mystery, and Adventure with Curtsy, the Keto Corn, Casper, maybe.
It's currently 82 degrees right now in Lamarck, Texas. 86 is going to be the high today. It is going to be sunny all throughout the day, and your sunset is at 6:54. Your sunrise tomorrow morning is at 7:17. Wednesday, 87. Thursday, 82. Hey, 79 on Friday.
I got to break out the
weather.
parka, break out the jacket. It's 79 degrees. It's going to be a cold one. So we are going to kind of shift into something else right now. We're going to be talking about buying a home, getting a mortgage. That's kind of a scary word. We have Jennifer here. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for
Excited to be
joining
here.
us. So you're with an organization. Can you let us know who you're with?
I'm with the Stephen Curtis Group at Ferry Independent Mortgage. We're just a local mortgage company that allows clients the opportunity to come in office to see their lender face-to-face, go through the paperwork face-to-face, and kind of understand the magic and mystery behind those magic mortgage numbers that seem to elude everyone.
Yeah. You mentioned face-to-face, and that's probably one of those most important things, because we live in a place where you can probably get approved maybe from your phone, but
Oh, yeah.
it's tough. It's tough because, okay, we were getting quotes for some shirts and some other stuff, and that's one of the things that I like. Hey, I just want to stop in, talk to somebody, see where they're going to make these shirts, and shake their hand and just know, like, I'm actually dealing with the person. And is that something that y'all do there, I guess?
Yeah, I meet with a lot of clients in office, face-to-face. We get a lot of, sad stories from clients who went online and just got a quick pre-approval from some online app or site within less than 5 minutes without turning in any documents, without actually getting to speak to a lender. They just filled out something on an application and got their pre-approval letter. Well, long story short, they go to get the house, and about a week before closing find out that they're actually denied. But they turned in all these documents to this lender after they got into contract, and then based on some documents they've received, all of a sudden the loan doesn't work anymore. And this is after they've already put down security deposits for earnest and option money. They paid for an appraisal and a home inspection. They've already told their family and their friends, like, hey, be excited with us, we're getting this house. They've already told their kids, like, hey, we're moving to a new school. This is a house we're going to move into. And it's already bad enough finding out that you've gotten denied after you thought you were approved, but then going back and having to relive that over and over as you go back and tell every single one of your family and your friends and your own children that, I'm sorry, mom and dad didn't make it. We weren't qualified after all. Something else came up.
Yeah.
That's really disheartening and discouraging to a lot of home buyers. So we like to get ahead of that, and we like to prevent that. We like to have in-person meetings. We like to get these documents up front. If there's something that's going to cause your loan to not go through, we don't want to find out about that after you've already fallen in love with your dream house. We want to find out about that up front so we can be proactive on it, show you the steps you need to take and things that you can start doing in the future to prevent those things from coming back and preventing your home loan from going through.
Sometimes people have a credit score, and I've been there myself. I remember being young, and hey, you got a credit card. I'm approved. Like, oh my gosh, let's go run this thing up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going crazy, eating pizza every night. Really like not smart purchases. But then I got to a point where, hey, credit's important. What is my credit? Oh my gosh, it's bad.
Yeah.
And so it's not been
It's
maybe.
impossible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Credit scores typically range from the mid 300s to the mid 800s.
So my 282 is really bad.
Yes, it's so bad that most credit bureaus won't even be able to report a score that low.
Dang.
So
Right?
it's sometimes not people's favorite thing to talk about.
Oh,
credit's
yeah.
like, it's kind of embarrassing. Hey, I don't want to tell
It's
somebody.
like discussing your weight.
Exactly.
Who wants to step on the scale in front of their lender? Nobody.
Maybe even
The
worse.
Nobody.
hardest discussion I'm going to have with my business associate before we go to Butler's Courtyard
And get married.
is going to be like, hey, my credit score. Like, I'm just dreading it.
Well,
there's
things you can do to get ahead of that. When people are sick and they're suffering and they're having problems, they have no problem going to a doctor
right.
and saying, hey, this is me at my worst. This is what I need. This is how I need you to fix me, right? When people are going to church, they have no problem going in there at their worst and saying, this is who I am. I need you to fix me, right? It's when we try to put on that show that we're this awesome person that has all their stuff together. That's when we miss out on opportunities to get help and to get things back on the right track where they need to be. And it costs us more in everything we do. Bad credit makes you put deposits down on utilities. When you have good credit,